Time for sports. Simon Hardy joins us. We're starting with the big news of the day. UEFA's former head, Michel Platini, legend of French football, being questioned by the French police.
He's being questioned, Mark, in regards to the awarding of the 2022 Qatar World Cup. He's still in custody, held here by French police in the suburbs of Nanterre. And if truth be told, this isn't the first time that there have been allegations towards Michel Platini of supporting illegally that Qatari bid. An investigation launched by Mediapart highlighted a supposed lunch in 2010 between Nicolas Sarkozy, the then French president, Platini and Qatari officials. It may have already been decided then that the World Cup would be awarded to Qatar in exchange for money. Laurent Bertesquer has the details.
December 2nd, 2010. Qatar has just been selected to host the 2022 FIFA World Cup, beating the United States. A decision that to this day continues to raise eyebrows and suspicions of corruption. French investigators are now looking into the alleged role of former UEFA boss Michel Platini in influencing FIFA's choice and at whether his own vote was bought by Qatar. At the core of the investigation, a meeting at the Élysée Palace that took place just 9 days before the vote.
There was the president of the time, Nicolas Sarkozy, the crown prince of Qatar, Tamim Al Thani, who is today the emir of Qatar, and Michel Platini. And the investigators suspect that there's been a deal.
A deal in which Sarkozy allegedly convinced Platini to vote for Qatar, in exchange for which the Gulf Emirates would buy the PSG football club and create a new television channel, beIN Sport. Platini later acknowledged that the meeting took place and said Sarkozy hinted that he wanted him to vote for Qatar, but claimed the president didn't openly make the request. And while the former Ballon d'Or did vote for the Gulf nation, he said his mind was already made up before the meeting. On Tuesday, Platini again claimed his innocence, and his lawyer said he was being questioned as a witness rather than a suspect. It's not the first time Michel Platini is suspected of corruption. In 2016, he was investigated along with former FIFA president Sepp Blatter for receiving a €1.6 million payment and was banned from all football-related activities until 2020.
And we'll bring you all the latest from that investigation as it happens. Well, let's move on to the Women's World Cup. And we now know the qualified teams from Group C. Italy finished first despite a 1-0 loss to Brazil in their final group match. Marta scored her 17th World Cup goal against the Azzurre, making her the best scorer in World Cup history, whether male or female. The Brazilians finish third in the group and are qualified for the knockout stages, where they should face France, even though that is still not confirmed. Italy qualify for the knockout stages, on the other hand, for the first time since 1991. And it is Australia who have made second place after they beat Jamaica 4-1, courtesy of Samantha Kerr's 4-goal festival. Twice the Australian captain headed in to give the Australians the lead. Jamaica then scored their first ever World Cup goal, Havana Solon getting that one. Kerr then added another 2. Australia finished second thanks to an 84th minute strike and therefore avoid hosts France in the next round. And in the Copa America, defending champions Chile demolished guest Japan in Group C 4-0. The South Americans went ahead 4 minutes before half-time. Eric Pulgar heading in from a corner. Former Napoli man Eduardo Vargas added a second after the break before Manchester United's Alexis Sanchez headed in his first goal since January. Vargas then added a beautifully lobbed goal a minute after Sanchez to complete the rout. Chile joint top of Group C with Uruguay with exactly the same number of points, goals scored and goals conceded. And tonight, Bolivia play Peru in Group A. Bolivia beaten by Brazil in the opening game, whereas Peru played out a goalless draw with Venezuela. Roger Federer has started his conquest for a 10th Hallett crown in style with a straight sets victory over John Millman, The Swiss was back in action after his Roland Garros semi-final defeat to Rafael Nadal, but Federer, on his favourite surface, wasted no time to open the hostilities. Both men held serve until a first-set tiebreak, dominated by Federer. In the second, just one break, enough for the former world number one to record a straightforward victory, 7-6, 6-3. Federer converting his first match points, and he will play Jo-Wilfried Tsonga in the next round. In cycling, it is another blow for Team Sky, rebaptized Ineos after Tour de France defending champion Geraint Thomas crashed out of the Tour de Suisse. Ineos are already without Chris Froome, who crashed heavily in the Critérium du Dauphiné and who has been ruled out of the Tour. Thomas has abandoned the race in Switzerland, but was alert after the crash, seen talking to his teammates and moving. The Tour de France is the biggest event in the cycling calendar and starts on the 6th of July. And we finish with some rugby news. France have announced their squad for the 2019 World Cup, which kicks off in September, with some surprise choices made by head coach Jacques Brunel. Mathieu Bastareaud is the biggest high-profile omission from the squad, as the Toulon man makes way for Toulouse's Sofiane Guitoun. Morgan Parra also misses out, but that decision is more due to the fact that the Clermont scrum half is injured. Toulouse, who have just won the top 14, dominate the list with 7 players included. Antoine Dupont, Thomas Ramos and Ntamak, all the favourites are there after Toulouse's standout season. Guillaume Guiraudot retains the captain's mantle. Mark, an impressive squad, plenty of young players, but France, you would imagine, considering their latest results, will still struggle in a group with Argentina and England.
And they say that France, though, are never better and never more dangerous than when they are wounded.
Obviously,
You know, so that's the thing. So you and I, with leaning towards England, will be thinking, oops, please no, please no. But you never know.
Especially after England's fiasco in 2015. But let's not talk about
Let's not talk about that one, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Simon Harding with All the Sport. Great to see you, mate.